Now let's talk about a crisis that's facing everyone on this planet, the climate crisis. We've been telling you how global warming is killing our planet. Our forests are burning, our towns are flooding, the marine animals are being boiled alive. But to most of us, none of this seems to matter because as long as global warming is not affecting us directly, it remains a non-issue or a distant issue. We talk about global warming at forums and conferences. We write about it on Twitter. But we do very little to tackle it ourselves. Will this change if I told you that global warming is affecting our newborns, that global warming is affecting the health of fetuses? Look at what a new study has found. Global warming has links to premature birth. Scientists studied 200,000 births between 2007 and 2011. A quarter of these mothers were exposed to at least one very hot day while being pregnant. The risk of premature birth increased 15%. Another study has found that a mother's exposure to wildfires before conception can double the risk of birth defects. What causes wildfires? Global warming. So the only way to tackle the problem, and many other problems, is by stopping global warming. How do we do that? We all know that. By making changes to our day-to-day lives, by opting for public transport, reducing carbon emissions, switching to cleaner fuels, reducing deforestation, you know the drill. The idea is to edit our current lifestyle in order to reduce global warming. But there are some who believe that we could edit the composition of the atmosphere instead, reducing global warming by dimming the sun's rays and cooling the planet's surface. Can this be done? Yes, it can. Sometimes the sun's rays are dimmed naturally or because of a natural calamity. What happened in 1991 makes for a good example here. The Mount Pinatubo erupted in the Philippines. It sent up an umbrella-like cloud of rock, ash and smoke. The planet-cooling aerosols lingered in the air and they lowered the Earth's surface temperature for at least a year. The effect lasted for over a year, in fact. But trying to achieve this artificially can be disastrous. First things first, can it be done? Can we humans dim the sun's rays? Theoretically speaking, yes, we can. To dim the amount of sunlight that falls on Earth, we would need to inject reflective particles into the atmosphere. Not one or two, but in large quantities. It is called solar radiation modification, or SRM. It's something that's been hotly debated as a climate policy option. But should this policy option even be considered? That is the question. Experts say it's a big no. Because one, dimming the sun's rays could disrupt monsoons in South Asia and Western Africa, which means dimming the sun's rays could damage our rain-fed crops. It could hit food security, deprive millions of food, and force more people to go to bed hungry. Point number two, dimming the sun's rays could also dry the Amazon. So 60 experts and scientists have written a letter. This is what they say. We call for an immediate political action from governments, the United Nations and other actors to prevent the normalization of solar geoengineering as a climate policy option. Come to think of it, how is dimming the sun even a solution? The only way to tackle global warming is by addressing the root cause of the problem, not covering the problem with another layer of reflective particles. Dimming the sun's rays is a quick fix. And we should be done with tampering the earth. We've cut forests, put enormous pressure on the planet by expanding agricultural land, by increasing livestock farming, by filling lakes, building houses and factories on them. We've cut mangroves, built artificial islands, polluted rivers, polluted the land, the air. We've burnt fossil fuels, coal, oil, gas. And now all of this is coming back to bite us, and we want to change the composition of the atmosphere. You see, the earth is not a guinea pig. It's not a lab rat that we can keep experimenting on. And honestly, there is no need to dim the sun's light. Just think about what happened a few months back. You know, during the lockdown, we realized that our planet has the magical ability to heal itself. 1 month of lockdown and the air was cleaner. Water was flowing once again in clogged rivers. The birds were back. The animals were back. There were less pollutants. If one lockdown could transform our surroundings, imagine what a lifetime of conscious choices can do. I know we have big goals and very less time, and we cannot let our planet's temperature increase any further. And this is exactly where we can turn to science for real solutions. We must use science to make the transition to greener fuel smoother and to decrease pressure on agricultural land. We must use science to find alternatives to livestock farming. Tampering with the atmosphere all over again is not an option. Dimming the sun's rays sounds like a Frankenstein solution. It should be off the table, as scientists say it should be. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.